So at this point, I would probably say that gaming for everybody is in a very weird spot. I mean, we have been getting news about the consoles getting increased in prices, and now apparently PlayStation is getting rid of physical discs now in 2028, specifically January of 2028, which is honestly not that far away if we really do think about it. And guys, I really do not understand the thought process behind a lot of this stuff. I mean, we can all admit right now the overall pricing for gaming is obviously not cheap. We all do know everything has gone up, but we also kind of understand that the prices of all the games nowadays is a heck of a lot more expensive, and we all do know how the economy and all that is. A lot of people can't go out and buy an $800 console and then also a $100 game and then probably pay a monthly subscription just to get on the game online. I mean, it's kind of a crazy concept there. But the first part of this I wanted to talk about is simply with PlayStation, man. I have been literally playing on PlayStation since the PS1, alright? I have been pretty much playing every console they've ever launched. I mean, heck, I went out and bought another PS2 and started playing some PS2 games. I got another PS3. And one of the biggest reasons for that is simply down to if I wanted to play the games again, I could just find a game store or go online and find a disc copy of that game somewhere and put it in the console and literally just play it, bro. That's all I would need to do. But it seems that Sony, for some odd reason, is getting rid of the physical disc production in January of 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. And guys, I really don't know what their thought process is with this. Now, from the looks of it in the article, apparently they will still have cases, at least from what I'm seeing, that will have a code or something in it. The reason I say that is on the blog post they had, it said, following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. So it is probably taking the entire cause of what Grand Theft Auto 6 is doing, pretty much making it, okay, well, you want to buy this case, bro? Well, you buy the case, it has a code in there, and that is pretty much it. And to be honest, I think that's a little bit weird and also kind of dumb. I think a lot of the retailers and all that are probably going to go, dang, bro. So a lot of them might end up going out of more business than they're already having issues with, because eventually there won't be any disc copies of games and you can't go there and buy a case of a game with a used digital code in it. That ain't going to work, bro. So you pretty much have to get it new or something along those lines. At least I'm guessing the entire code only works once. Well, it ain't going to work more than once, bro. I really do find this kind of odd, though, because a lot of people are already in kind of weird spots with how everything has gone digital. A lot of the stuff is pretty much, okay, well, it's on this, you kind of own the license to it with Steam or any online game for that matter that has been shut down, or, you know, only online, you could pretty much shut it down and you only really can play it because you own the license type of thing to play. And it looks like they're pretty much doing this again. And to be real, the issue I really have with this, though, is kind of what I said before about the PS2 and PS3. If you wanted to go play a PS2 or PS3 game, you could jump on the PC and probably emulate them, or you could do what I did and get the authentic controllers and everything from back then and play the games on the original consoles, because you could go and find those discs anywhere. The thing is, they can't take that away from you if they are offline, which most of them are offline, so you don't have to worry about that. You put them in, you load them up, and you can play them in basically 20 or 30 years from now if you want to. The issue is if the game is only on the console, guys, the problem I see with it is they can literally just turn it off, okay? They can pretty much just turn the games off if they want, and anyone can go, bro, they can't do that. But the thing is, they literally can. I mean, Sony also had that one thing about apparently not logging on or something, and then they could take the games away from you or something like that if you don't log on and have an internet connection. Like, what? Bro, the game is offline. You do not need an online connection to play that, bro. Or if you have PlayStation Plus and you don't have it anymore, or the entire system malfunctions and goes down for PlayStation Plus, all of those games connected to it, you can't even play them or load them up. So, yeah, it's kind of an issue, because if you want to play those games, then they could pretty much turn them off whenever they want because they're on the digital storefront of the PlayStation. Now, one of the only other things I kind of thought about with this is simply down to the fact that a lot of people have been buying games digitally for a pretty long time. Like, can we be real there and say that probably 70 to 80% of people, or even more than that, are probably just buying games on the consoles anyway, as it's, for one, easier than going to the store. If you want to play the game at midnight, or if you want to get on it as quickly as possible, you can buy the game digitally, download it, and pretty much play it right at the time it unlocks. Whereas if you have to get a disc, it might take time to ship to you, or it might take time to get there. So, in ways, I kind of understand that also being on the weird side of it, but the entire thing of basically getting away from full on disc copies and only going fully digital is honestly very dumb. And for me, I could see a lot of people basically going away from PlayStation and heading toward Xbox, but I'll talk about some of those really fun decisions here in a second as well with Microsoft, as I do have an Xbox and a PlayStation and obviously use a PC, so I can kind of talk about both of them. It's kind of wild though, because a lot of people will end up looking at PlayStation, most likely a lot different here because they might go, dang, so I guess I've been playing PlayStation for 20 years, or I got into this and I could go find disc copies, but now the stores probably won't even have them. And if they have a copy, like what I mean by that is a hard copy, like what Grand Theft Auto is doing, you go there and buy the game and it has a code inside of it. Bro, what in the world? This will 100% push people away from PlayStation. But I'm also starting to think maybe people might end up just going toward PCs more because the thing is, Microsoft is not making better decisions. And I'm interested to see what they do with this. I wonder if they might come out and say, we love physical games, we'll always have it. Or we're also going digital. Now, the difference with Xbox, though, is they are way better with backwards compatibility than PlayStation, as you could put a lot of older games in the Series X or even the Xbox One and play a lot of older games. I love how I can go find older 360 games and put them in the Series X and play them, like Driver San Francisco or Pure or Fuel, or a lot of these older games work as long as you can find a disc for them, and obviously they're in tune with the entire backwards compatibility thing. So I don't really know if I see Microsoft taking that direction with just getting rid of everything and just having digital consoles, as I don't know if that's the best decision for them, but we also do know PlayStation did it, so yeah, I really think it's one of the dumbest things ever, guys. But the side of it with Microsoft, though, is they thought raising the prices of the Xbox again was apparently a good idea. The regular Xbox Series X for the digital is $750 now. Mind you guys, the disc drive one before was $650. So basically, they are raising the prices another $150 on these consoles. And the hilarious part is the console prices are already down in sales. And guess what? They're going to continue to drop because this is even insane, okay? The other Series X with the disc drive is $800 now, guys, okay? 800 bucks. And apparently they're getting rid of the 2 terabyte version of the Xbox as well. I don't even know if I have words for this. I mean, that is literally $800 for that. Mind you, I think this console was like around $500, $550 for a Series X with a disc drive back in the day, bro. And now look, it's 800 bucks. All right, it will be $800 for this, which also a little bit, I think it actually does concern everybody for the future of the newer consoles and what they're doing with these in the future, because I bet you the next Project Xbox Helix thing or whatever the next gen one is will probably be 850 plus for a regular one. Even 900 could push 1,000 for the higher end ones. We all do know the PlayStation 5 now is like, what, $650 for the regular or something, or around that. The Pro is $900, guys, so I would not doubt if the next PS5 is probably $750 to $800 for the base one. Xbox will probably be pushing $850 to $900, because if this thing is 800 bucks, I really do not think they had to raise the price 250 plus more dollars or even more compared to before, because apparently the Xbox has not been out for 5 years or anything, or even the PlayStation. Let's go hike up the prices now, because that will totally make players want to buy them. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. I don't think that's going to make anybody want to get any of these new consoles because they're super expensive. The games are also expensive, and now they're getting rid of disc games for the expensive console that you can play. How in the world is any of that even playing together? I mean, this is the huge picture I'm looking at, guys. The hardware of the consoles is obviously going up. We are now going to have more digital-only games and all that, and that's probably what they're going to aim for. We all do know microtransactions are insane for a lot of these games, for extra things you can pay for. And my goodness, I really do think you really are paying way more for a lot less nowadays with this stuff. And the worst part is it's not even about gaming. It's kind of about everything. But I'm not going to dive too deep into that. That could be a separate video if I start going down that road of these types of videos, as I really do kind of wonder what is the thought process behind a lot of this stuff. I mean, we're obviously getting newer consoles in a few years. That is something that I'm sure some players are looking forward to. The one thing people are probably not looking forward to is the prices of them and what that will happen, because if you buy the game or the console, let's say for 850 bucks or whatever, you still got to pay for online, which is at least $10 to $15 a month minimum. I think the Xbox is 10, PlayStation is 10 to 12 or something. You do the yearly one, which is like $80 or something like that. So technically Xbox does cost more, but PlayStation is still not cheap to play games online if you want to have PlayStation Plus. But if you have games on Plus though, you kind of need Plus to play the games, or you can't even have access to them. So you pretty much have to buy the game, and also you then have to use Plus to play it. Then you got to buy the consoles, which are going to be through the roof in prices. And I really just do not understand any of this stuff going on, guys. I'm interested to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I do not see any of this being good for gaming whatsoever. I think it's just taking another terrible turn that people just do not want to see right now. I mean, seeing the Xbox go up another 150 bucks, and then PlayStation kind of just comes out of nowhere and goes, okay guys, well, you will not have your games anymore because we're going full on digital, because everybody's dream is to buy a case for a game and have a code inside of it that is empty for $100. That is totally what everybody wants. But the other side of this, though, is this will also hurt retailers because they won't be able to resell any of this stuff in their stores, which is also an issue. Luckily, PS1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes at least a little bit for 5 will be able to do this. But my goodness, this is the type of stuff I was hoping not to see when I would get up and look at different things on the news of gaming, and then this pops all up over my feed. I'm like, bro, are we for real? Sony, are you guys serious? You're literally going to lose people that have probably had PlayStation for 20 years because of this announcement. And it ain't going to end well. But you guys know what? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And I'm honestly thinking about doing more videos similar to this on different news or things that might end up popping up on gaming, just to mix things up a little bit and all that, guys, and cover this, as I really do think a lot of this stuff needs to be discussed, because it is definitely not the direction gaming should be taking right now.